Dr. Bhattacharya, Director IMT Nagpur, Professor Sharma, Professor Jain and Professor Senthil, faculty and future corporate managers of India and the globe. Let me tell you a couple of things in 30 minutes which I have, that you are all very lucky to be born in a country which is known as India. You will realize it after, like me, kept on realizing throughout my career of over 37 years. We have a culture of acceptance. That's a value of an Indian. We have a culture of family and roots. And people are there to help you, support you when you get a shock of your life arising out of a failure. It doesn't happen in Europe and US. I've interacted with all the cultures of the world, so I can compare them. Economy is growing at more than 7%. That means sufficient employment opportunities are there, among the rarest in the world. Industrialization is a focus, and the government has a vision. I hope the vision will convert, because a lot of governments don't have a vision also of creating jobs, creative industrialization, and growing the economy. You have good schools and colleges in India. If you have so many fortunate things you have an accountability. And that accountability is to the society and to the nation. Second, you are very lucky to be born to your parents. We were when born, we were from the era where we used to polish the shoes of our parents and polish the shoes of our children. You are in the lower part. You all are very lucky that they are ready to spend so much of money on your education. And hence, you have an accountability to your family and your parents. You have a huge empowerment, and that empowerment is for knowledge. And I'll tell you the story how it came out, because you can have the latest things in the world on just one box. What are the latest trends, what are the latest happenings, and that is it. When we studied, we had to sit in the library, get the photocopies. It used to take 1 day to photocopy pages and then do our work. You're all so lucky. So, sky is the limit for you. But the times which you are in are very, very challenging. 1992-93, when this country started opening up, under the leadership of Mr. Narasimha Rao and Dr. Manmohan Singh, people had not realized that the challenges will be so severe. Just to survive, I can give you my example. I have put in on an average 18 to 17 hours for over 25 years. This is the type of work you will have to do. Forget about work-life balance and all these are very, very theoretical concepts. And then sky is the limit for you. Be very clear about it. Then there's no limit. You can go to any extent. And the type of packages even existing in India, if you'll hear are unimaginable, which no one could think about 10 years back. But please understand, how this industrial scenario is becoming stronger and stronger was seen long time back by countries like US and Europe. And when Golda Meir, she was the Prime Minister of Israel, she visited US President Ronald Reagan, she told her, "Sir, I have the 2 best generals. Give me 2 generals and I'll rule over the world." Mr. Reagan asked her, "Which 2 generals you are talking about?" And she said, "Give me General Electric and General Motors. I have the 2 best soldier generals." General Motors was about to be finished. It is only Mary Barra, who became the CEO and now the chairman, has turned it around by taking a huge major decision of withdrawing 900,000 cars from the market just because of one defect. And it took her 4 years to counter the quality equation of this General Motors. And now it is coming up very well. General Electric, from Jeff Immels's time, changed from a manufacturing company to, Jack Welch's time. And when Jeff Immelt took over, it became to a financing company. And I'm consulting their HQ in Crotonville, and they are very clear to convert into a manufacturing company again. These are such major changes which keep on happening. And even in India, the most unbelievable things are happening. Tata Steel, you must have heard. I started my career there. I was attached to Mr. J.R.D. Tata. You might have heard of his name for about 2 years directly. Tata Steel, which market share of steel was 8% globally, took over a company, Chorus, you might have heard, 22% market share. Dwarfs are taking over the giants. Never heard of. Electrolux, which was a market leader in kitchen appliances and garden appliances, with 65% of the revenue coming from kitchen appliances and 35% of revenue from garden appliances, with high profitability in garden appliances, sold its brand to a brand in India like Videocon. I'm advising Videocon. So these are things, and it was a market leader. Even GE was afraid of that Electrolux at that point of time when it sold. But because its consumer durables was making losses, it just sold off. And that is how most of these American and European companies work. So dwarfs are taking over. The lifetime of CEOs, which used to be 5 years to 3 years, has gone from quarter to quarter. Every quarter when the board meeting is taking place in US and Europe, next quarter, whether the CEO will get an extension or not, this is the challenge. Because if the businesses are dying, the CEO's longevity is very small, and so will be the employees' longevity much, much smaller, which is happening. And that is the challenge. 32%. There are 33% married people getting divorced by the age of 32, 33. 35, below 35, about 15% professionals are having heart diseases. One of the IIM's director was telling me they wanted to donate blood, and so you have to have a blood test. 98% of their students, first year and second year, had high blood pressure and they could not donate blood. So these are the challenges. Challenges of survival and challenges of excellence. But how things have changed. 9/11 you all must have heard of. Everyone knows. Has anyone heard about 11/9? 11/9 was in this industrial revolution a very important date. 11/9/89 was when the Berlin Wall fell. It marked the victory of group of people, democracy. And that was the date when Windows was launched. It marked the starting of empowerment of individuals. For 10 years, it was only me and my machine, nothing else. There were no contents. And only when Netscape became a public limited company in US and India started the .com companies, the content started happening. And that time when Bill Gates was interviewed, they were like, now there are a lot of startup companies. That time it was .com companies in 1995. And Bill Gates, when he was interviewed, he said 99% of these companies will fail. But this will change the concept of human face and empower them and give them knowledge. And this is what has happened. The humanity's empowerment through knowledge changed through 99% failure of .com companies. For India, there are two important dates. One is 1st January 2000. Anyone? India. I'm traveling all over the world since 80s, early 80s. Indian professionals were never looked with respect. Let me tell you very frankly, whatever newspapers and politicians might talk, we were looked down upon. But this date changed it to an extent. This was a date when Y2K problems were resolved. And the groups of people who were involved, 65% of them were Asians, out of which 80% of them were Indians. So this software group gave us some respectability. And second date, which was very recently, and I have felt it, it's not nowhere recorded, was when Tata's launched Nano car. It's not very successful in India. But 2 days later, I was in Detroit, which is the automobile hub of the whole automobile in the whole of US, and people were telling me, how is it possible that India can make a car for $2,000? They were shaken up. Now, for whatever reasons, it did not really succeed, but people understood India is an emerging power center, whether it is technology, whether it is talent. And now you can see Satya Nadella taking over LinkedIn for $26.2 billion, and so many others. So, the challenges which you will be facing, which we faced in last 10 years only, we were very lucky, because we were in very protected environment till 90s. You must have heard, has any one of you seen Higglytown Heroes? Tell me when I have 7 to 10 minutes left. Higglytown Heroes was a BBC episode, cartoon, every week, half an hour. It has to be shown on BBC about 15 years back or 17 years back. Very, very big hit. And how was it made? The writers were sitting in St. Johannesburg, Tokyo, and Seoul, 1,000 kilometers apart. The editors were sitting in Silicon Valley, Bangalore, and Sri Lanka. The animation specialists were sitting again in different cities. How do you create a culture? How do you create a company? How do you create a teamwork? And how do you create a leadership? Are the challenges. When I was handling innovation for LG of Asia, I had people from all over the country of Asia, and I could meet them only once in a year. That's it. How do you handle a sensitive subject like innovation? Innovation is the most important thing right now, and I'll touch it a bit later. Small. If you are too small, you have to act big. And if you are too big, you have to act small. Fadi Gardom's father had in Saudi Arabia 5 jets in 80s or 70s. And when Fadi Gardom took over, because US planes were not flying through Middle East, he knew if it happened, the day it starts happening, the Europe and US planes start flying over Middle East, I'm finished. So he decided to become a courier company. And he went to companies in US and Europe and he said, I have a fleet of aircrafts, and I can give your couriers to various countries in Middle East. Europeans and US had some allergy to these countries, and they were very happy to do it. And it has become the second largest courier company in the world, the Aramex. But if you are too big, you have to act small. Starbucks, how many type of coffees it would be making? Anyone? Anyone? 40, 50, 60? It makes 19,880 types of coffees. Highly centralized it was. And in 2002 or 3, when the coffee started degrowing, the growth becoming flat, they had interviewed with their store managers. And they said, we should sell soya milk. And it took them 5 years to decide to sell soya milk. And the day they decided that year, their revenue went up by 300% and profitability by 250%. Acting small means empowering. People who are dealing with the customers directly and know the customer, not the HQ or the headquarters. Innovation. I'll give you 3 examples. Please tell me, please be very clear. Unless you are not going to be innovative, you are not going to succeed. Middle level of management is going away. It's a post office. It's going away. The type of reporting relationships, I was taught 4 to 6 should be the span. You will be also taught to one boss, 4 to 6 people should be reporting. It has changed. 20 to 30 people report to one person. Because the role of a manager has changed. The role of subordinates has changed. This is how the world has changed. The new concept of organizational design is holacracy. Circles within circles. And I wrote an article on that in Business Today recently. Very, very interesting. So, one, you have to be very clear, the youngsters, unless you are not going to be innovative, you will not survive. Number one example I'll give you is that of Einstein. A brilliant, genius person, very, very humble person, father of theory of relativity, never accepted the concept of Niels Bohr, that was quantum physics. And when he was dying, 1 month before he was from his deathbed, he wrote a letter to the closest person, a closest friend of his. My biggest regret of my life was my arrogance of mind. I did not accept quantum physics. Humbleness, not creativity. Humbleness is the hallmark of innovative mind. If you're arrogant, you cannot be innovative. Second, Galileo. Telescopy, I think. Yeah. And early part of his career, he realized that most of his ideas, most creative ideas of his are in his mind when he's half asleep and half awake, early in the morning. But by the time he wakes up, he forgets the ideas. What did he do the whole of his life? He slept on a chair, like Dr. Bhattacharya is sitting. With right hand, he had an iron chain. And at the end of the iron chain was an iron ball. And on the wrist, and early in the morning when he used to be half awake, through the reflex action, he used to push his hand. And the iron ball used to fall on his right foot. Throughout his career, 1 or 2 bones of his right foot were broken. And what he used to do? He used to write the ideas which were there. Get up because of pain. If you want to work 9 to 5, 5 days a week, forget about corporate career. It has to be 24 hours a day, 8 days a week, not 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. You cannot get out of it. You have to learn how not to get burn out. Otherwise, if you get burnt out, you are finished anyway. Third, Evan Levitt, he was the president of Harvard Business School in 1860s. And he had 2 values which changed the whole management thing, and Harvard Business School became #1 after that for decades and decades. Now every year it keeps on changing, but it is among the top 10, top 5 or whatever. And he said, I will have the best faculty in the world. He went around the world, recruited the best faculty, obviously with higher costs. So the existing staff went to the board twice to throw him out, but the board supported him. He continued for 10 years. That was one thing. Right now, everybody talks merit is the best thing. Those days, to come out with that value system was a remarkable thing and execute it. And second, he said, we have to trust the human intellect. And that is where it started, where that a medical person can become an engineer can take arts, and engineer can become a doctor. In India, still it is not there. It is the experience and the knowledge you can continue in that area only. And these 2 things change the face of education all over the world, not only Harvard Business School. So, you have to have the values and stick to it. I've seen innovation, empowerment, more than trust. Everyone will talk it as trust. But because I've executed it, I know more than trust, it is the courage. When the other person fails, and whom you have empowered, and how you take the accountability. Accountability can never go from you. But you cannot be the best person for everything and anything. Dirtying the hands is something which is very important. Lot of jobs are going away. Right now, the highest jobs in the campuses is sales jobs. Another 10 years, sales jobs in India will go away. It happened in US, online. Generally, the sale cost in any company, depending from industry to industry, is 4% to 8%. That means you are hitting the profitability by 4 to 8%. IBM, Microsoft, they have changed the whole way, saved that much. That's a huge profit. NASA, the skills which are going to be required, you have to see now, will be different than when you will be 40. At that level, whether you might be at the sky or you might be nowhere. I'm telling you very, very frankly. NASA has about 20,500 jobs, highly technical jobs, which they give only to typical Americans, not American citizens. That means whose great-grandfather was also an American, etc., etc., so that technology cannot be taken out. But those type of jobs are highly technical, but more than 14 hours people have to work a day. 25% of these people have retired. Another 15 to 20% are going to retire in next 4 to 5 years, and no one is applying for those jobs. So the dilemma, major dilemma, I'll give an example. When LG started flat panel, the LCD, LED TVs, there was no skill available in India. And we did not want to bring our R&D of LCD, LED TVs because of high attrition level, the technology can go away to the competitor. This is the biggest reason why the core technology is not coming to India. Attrition of employees. And the execution of law is so poor. I take away a technology, the case will be there, 25 years it will be decided, by that time I'll be retiring. This is the major problem. So the type of jobs which are emerging and the type of skills which people have, there's a big mismatch now. And if high-tech companies are going to come to India, like Apple and Amazon, the gap will become much, much bigger. And the jobs will then not go to India, they will go to some people from outside. So this is another thing, but 2 more points. I teach in one of the Ivy League school on CCDM, cross-cultural management. Whatever is the course, you'll all have to become global managers very, very soon, 5, 10 years, because it is becoming a very, very small world. And forget about all the concepts. My own realization is Indians are conceptually and analytically the brightest race in the world. They have their own problems, execution problems, politicizing problems, etc., etc. But analytically and conceptually, they're the brightest. So no race can manage an average Indian and average race. But if you want to become a global person, first thing, and I'm telling you the 4 simplest thing, you will have to learn to enjoy eating the food of the place where you are working. Let us say you are from South and you are placed in North, forget about Europe, and you cannot enjoy the chole bhature, you cannot survive in North for long. Vice versa. And if it is a global thing, if you are in Singapore and if you don't enjoy the food of Singapore, you will not enjoy it. One gentleman, I can name him because he quoted himself, a very, very big name, Mr. Gopala Krishnan. He's retired, but he was vice chairman of Tata Enterprises. He said he was going to be the global chairman of Unilever. And he said, wherever he was posted, so they post you in all the markets to see how can you adjust to various markets. His cook used to go with him. Because he said, without sambar in any meal, I could not eat my food. But once he was placed to a place where 1.5 years his cook could not get a visa, he came back. And that was the biggest blot in his career. Because he could not have any meal without sambar. So you have to learn to enjoy the food whichever place. Second, can you learn their language and enjoy talking in that language? Only then you will be. If you are not happy, you cannot be a best result giver. Third is, can you accept their habits? Lot of our habits are not acceptable to foreigners. Like if a phone call is coming, you are not picking for 3 rings, it is criminal. It is criminal. Secretaries on landline calling on mobile phone of a person, it is known as insult. If you have my personal mobile, ring me up directly. What the hell is secretary for? That is considered to be an insult in corporate world. Third is, so language is very, very important. Koreans, I have dealt with Koreans quite often. They have a habit. After they take tea in a cup, they'll spit in the cup. For Indians, it is unbearable. For them, oh, anyway, my saliva has gone in the cup when I am taking the tea. If I spit, what is the problem? So habits, different habits. And we have our own problems whether we accept those habits or not. And last is, when you reach the age of 35, 36, and especially if you have a girl child, you won't have to have the girl child the values of India. And I've seen very, very bright people coming back to India, killing their career. What is different? My value system, their value system, my children are absolutely different. So these are the things, and a lot of things can be talked to you, but one thing I will certainly say. I had a friend, and when he got married, he had an arranged marriage, and after marriage, they went for honeymoon, and then they came back, and first day, the wife asked him, "What will you eat?" He said, "I'll come for lunch and have chicken." Now the problem was, wife did not know how to cook. So she went to the market, purchased a cookery book, got all the spices and whatever was mentioned in the cookery book, and went in the kitchen and started doing something. During lunchtime, when the husband came and entered the house, he found that there's no smell. And his wife is, sweating all over. And when he went to the kitchen, what he found? He found everything was in the right order, but she had forgotten to light the burner. The institute, your parents, the country will give you an environment, will give you a situation. But unless you will have that fire burning in your stomach to use those who will, there. Those who will not, nowhere. Thank you very much.